Frighten Me at All by Maya Angelou. And this particular person put this book together with paintings by Jean-Michel Basquiat. Shadows on the wall, noises down the hall. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Bad dogs barking loud, big ghosts in a cloud. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Mean old Mother Goose, lions on the loose, they don't frighten me at all. Dragons breathing flame on my counterpane, that doesn't frighten me at all. I go boo, make them shoo. I make fun, way they run. I won't cry, so they fly. I just smile, they go wild. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Tough guys in a fight, all alone at night. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Panthers in the park, strangers in the dark. No, they don't frighten me at all. That new classroom where boys all pull my hair, kissy little girls with their hair in curls, they don't frighten me at all. Don't show me the frogs and snakes and listen for my scream. If I'm afraid at all, it's only in my dreams. I've got a magic charm that I keep up my sleeve. I can walk the ocean floor and never have to breathe. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Not at all, not at all. Life doesn't frighten me at all. So this book was put together by Sarah Jane Boyers, I believe is her last name. Sorry if I mispronounced it. But this is a poem by Maya Angelou and paintings by Jean-Michel Basquiat. Two artists who I love and honor. Their work is phenomenal. It has withstood the test of time. It is generational, and I'm looking forward to giving my children this book to read when the time comes in the future. Again, we are currently in the middle of COVID-19, and we are in the middle of a political uprising, and I am here for it all. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't somewhat nervous, somewhat afraid of what's going to happen. I think the loss of life is profound, no matter when it's happening or how it's happening. Loss of life is profound. Do I want it to be me or my loved ones? No. Do I want it to be any more Black and brown people? No. Do I want it to be anybody? No. But there's been too much done to the Black and brown communities of the world that we're no longer sitting down and just taking it. And I'm here for that. Do I understand that things may get more heated? Yes. Do I understand that there may be more losses? Yes. But all of it doesn't frighten me. I've always been a kind of nervous child. I was always wondering when the next shoe was gonna drop. Is that the way the saying goes? When the shoe's gonna drop, when the other shoe's gonna drop. I was always waiting for something bad to happen. And I'm 30 now. But it makes sense to me why that was going on in my head even as a child. I'm not a Christian, I'm not a churchgoer any longer. I was at one point in my life, like every Wednesday, Friday, Sunday type of person. But one of the phrases that always stuck with me was that, for you were born for such a time as this. I didn't know my purpose, obviously, when I came into this earth. I didn't know what I was supposed to do or what I was supposed to accomplish. I just knew that it was gonna be something big and grand. And now that I'm right up on it, at the age of 30, I see a little bit more, and it makes me feel empowered because, like, wow, Creator put me in this space and time for such a time as this. No wonder why I was nervous growing up. growing up. No wonder I was just like waiting for something crazy to happen. And now being in this time that we're in, it makes me feel like, wow, I was made for this. I was made for this time, because I wouldn't be alive if I wasn't made for this time. I wouldn't be alive right now. And I always kind of speculated, you know, you talk to your friends and you ask each other questions like, if you could have been born in a different time, like which time would it have been? And I always had some arbitrary answer, like maybe the 60s, or, you know, maybe when kings and queens ruled Africa. But I would say that the answer would be right now. Now, I would like to be around now for everything that's happening right now. Yes, there's, again, loss of life is profound and it's going to continue to be. But at the same time, there's so much opportunity to be a part of whatever new is created. You know, there's different conspiracy theorists around YouTube, around the internets that talk about this COVID-19 being like a mask for them changing the currencies, or even that COVID-19 is a direct correlation to 5G, and how the people, pseudo powers that be, were creating this radio frequency, or this frequency that was called 5G. And I'm talking about it in past tense because I firmly believe that whatever nefarious things are happening in the background, they don't have place here. They don't have a hold here. And I think the other thing, if I were sitting down around the table with Basquiat here and Dr. Maya Angelou here, I would be talking to them about the age of digital surveillance that we're in. Yes, I'm creating this video, and yes, I'm posting it on YouTube, which is a very digital platform. But I think even more so than that, it does give me pause when I think about 5G, when I think about different protesters, even all the way back from Ferguson, that were attacked. And I mean, I can only imagine what skills were utilized to find where they lived, to find out who they were. I would encourage everybody that's on the front lines right now protesting to cover your face, to make all of your social media private. You know, I may just be the old cuckoo woman that's, you know, saying things, talking out the side of her neck, but I do think it's important to hide who you are, to hide who to hide who your loved ones are. And when I say hide, I mean hiding from the digital platform, because there are people that are targeting freedom fighters through digital media. I mean, it's one of the main things that we have right now, one of the main ways that we communicate. So why wouldn't they be using that as a tool for colonization and terrorization? Is that a word, terrorism? No, the word is terrorism. For their terrorism. And when I say their terrorism, I mean white supremacy. I mean what this country has been founded on. And all of these things, in comparison to who we are, is minute. One of the things that I implemented this school year was affirmations in the morning. I always try to do it every school year, but I never did it with consistency. So I really wanted to do that this school year, and we read this every single day, 3 times. So it says, "I will not hallucinate, fantasize, or speculate about my direction." And I love it because these first graders were so articulate in the words. At first they were just like, what do these words mean? They're so big. And we went through the dictionary and we talked about it. And one of the things that I love about this affirmation is that nobody can take you off of your course. Nobody. The president, any world leader, nobody can take you off your course. What Spirit has designed for you is for you and nobody else. And once you recognize what Spirit has given to you, the tools and the resources and the talents and the gifts that you have been given for such a time as this, nobody can take you off of that. So I would encourage everyone, yes, things are crazy, but in all actuality, they're no more crazier than they were before COVID-19 started, before any of this started. Black people have been getting murdered by the police for 400 plus years. This is nothing new. We have the stamina. We have the intelligence. We have been cultivating it for generations. So I just want to encourage all of the young people out there that may be watching this. There's no need to be afraid. Even if you're a little nervous, even if you are a little afraid, keep that courage at the forefront. That courage is what's going to get us through. There's no hallucinating about our direction. Our direction is clear. What we are demanding is clear. All we want to be is just left alone. Really and truly, to be honest, we want to be left alone to live our lives. And this is nothing that is avant-garde or unconventional to ask for. Any human would ask for the same thing. So no, life does not frighten me at all. It didn't frighten Maya Angelou. It didn't